to you, beloved ones. It is with much, much joy that we do come to you in this time. So as we are looking at you energetically, we feel this wonderful, wonderful energy of acceleration. It is acceleration of your soul's presence in your very lives. And with this acceleration often comes, you know how if you have something, you are accelerating and there is something on top of the car, it flies off at a very fast rate. So the faster you grow in your growth and development, the faster things that are holding you back from your truest essence will be released, will be let go. So sometimes it feels as though, whoa, where did that go? Where did that go? Where did that go? And it's this process of letting go and allowing the universal life force to rip away anything that is not the truest part of yourself, which is love, which is presence, which is beingness, which is your great divine. And so there comes times in life where it feels like you're walking up a mountain and it's quite a drudgery. And then there's other times where it feels like you're sliding down very, very easily. One is not better than the other. They're just different stages in life. So it all comes down to trust. Ultimately, trusting the process of life, trusting that the universe is a loving place that wants to support you, that wants to ignite in you a fire for life. Ignite in you a fire for life. And sometimes what happens is a person's inner spark becomes sort of dim, very hard to see. And so then something has to happen to kind of shake them or reignite that inner light. Sometimes it is a loss. Suddenly your friend takes their own life and you say, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, life is so valuable. I'd forgotten. I was so caught in not getting what I want when I wanted it that I had forgotten my inner light, that special divine spark within. Sometimes it takes a loss of a job, a loss of a relationship, some sort of life transition to help to remind you of your own inner divine nature. So when you place trust above all of the confusion, above all of the places sometimes you get in your life, it feels like you're in a rainstorm, you cannot see the road, which way do I go? But you have to keep going and then you get out of it. There is these times in life where there's just confusion. And to trust that even though there is confusion, there is wisdom in the confusion. That there is actually wisdom in the not knowing, in the not being able to see the path or see the direction. Now, we see that this is a very caring group of individuals. And actually one of the things that you have in common is you are all what we call people helpers. People who help other people. And sometimes you forget that you must help yourself first so that you can more readily help other people. But you get a little bit affected by those that you are helping. If you see a person's path and you see it very clearly, you know that this 22-year-old needs to go to college, or you know that this elderly person needs to go into an assisted living, and it's very clear to you and they don't see it, it can be frustrating. So what do you do with that? How do you help that individual? Because you can't rip off somebody's blinders and say get out of denial or get on your path, move along, because that's going to create resentment. So the best thing that you can do is to share your own personal experience of perhaps having to make a change in your life that in some way might reflect that back. So it might be that you had a time when you broke your leg and you had to go into a rehabilitation center to get them to set it and to work with you and to do physical therapy. And you found that it was hard to do, but you benefited from it. That could be for the elderly person, for the person who's going to college. Perhaps you can go back and remember a time in your younger years when you had this choice and you didn't know which road to take. But this one ended up you're only making $10 an hour And if you had made this choice, you might be making $50 an hour. So oftentimes with helping other people, the best thing that you can do is to share your journey and to allow them to come to their own knowingness. So this inner knowingness, each individual has their own guiding force within them, which is their, it's like a pigeon. Those homing pigeons have a tracking device in their little bird brains that bring them back home, right? Well, humans have a similar tracking device that brings them back home to their soul. So we don't worry that the pigeon's going to get lost. We just go, well, it might be taking a little longer. It might have gotten detoured. It might have gotten into a wind drift. It might have met a mate along the way. But you trust that when you let that homing pigeon go, that eventually it's going to come back to the nest, right? But why is it that with human beings, there is doubt? Is this person going to come back home to their soul? Is this person going to come back to their truest path? Is this person going to, or am I on your own path? Am I ever going to get beyond this stage and state of development into an actual place of presence? Presence is being in the moment. Presence is living, breathing in the life force of this moment. Not needing to project ahead and not needing to go into the past to get a sense of meaning or purpose or it is about being able to be here fully right now and trusting this process. So who or what you're trusting? You're trusting your divine highest nature, which is connected with infinite wisdom. So anything that you need to know, anything that you need to learn is available when you can go deeply inside and ask. The problem is that people don't like to go within. You know, there's the story of what was that story? The man who, he had a treasure in his yard, but he traveled all the way across the world to find, what was that called? The alchemist? Yes, the alchemist. He traveled far and wide to find his treasures, and then he comes back and he finds his treasures in his own yard. So it's kind of like that. The treasure is in here. The wisdom is in here, in your own heart and soul. But it takes that commitment to pay attention on a day-to-day basis to where your mind is. Is my mind here or am I ahead? Is my mind here or am I behind? Where is my body? What am I doing right now? So we are delighted and excited that you are each here because you're at the time where you are ready to uncover a beautiful treasure within and about yourself right now. So we are here and we are most available for any questions that you would wish to ask. How may we be of service to you, dear ones?